here and my good friend Sekou. We did have the podcast named Anything But Average, but we just recently changed the name to Walk Away Wealthy for several different reasons. It was Anything But Average. We're on year 3 now. And that was always to bring positivity to the world, to bring a positive message, success stories, because everybody's got a story. But then we got involved with the Mission Matters Network, and they're like, what other names are you using? And I said, well, we use another one called Walk Away Wealthy. Wealthy in wisdom, wealthy in knowledge, wealthy in health tips, pro tips, you name it. You're going to walk away wealthy when you pay attention. So they're like, we like that one better. Change the name. So here we are, still Tuesdays, 12 o'clock Central, bringing you positivity, pro tips, health tips, whatever you need to make your life better. And I like to do a theme every month. And so the month of June, we were focused on Father's Day. And so I wanted to bring on really badass fathers that are successful, great dads, and just amazing human beings. And so had to bring you Sekou because he's all of that stuff. So welcome, Sekou.
That, first of all, let's talk about the mission there. Your mission is outrageous. I love it. I love it. And I could clearly see the vision. I already know you're a woman of values, man, but wow. I'm telling you right now, way to bring me in full on. I'm like, well, I want to do that. I want to walk away wealthy. I just left the gym. I feel like I left all my wealth on the floor in the gym there.
Hey, Sekou, everybody doesn't know like how amazing you are, of course. So for the people that don't know anything about you, let's give them a little bit of backstory. Like, where are you in the world? What do you do for a living? And how long have you been doing that? Let's start there.
I'm going to give you a new answer for where I am.
Ooh.
I'm in the cloud, baby. My business is all over the world. I forget how many countries we're in, but I'm in 6 of the countries. I tell you what I do. I build monsters daily. That's what I do. I find, cultivate, and create some of the greatest real estate sales talent in the world. I get into partnership with agents. What are we doing? We just transform business. I'll give you the best and most complete picture. The month of March, I took agents that are less than 2 years in the business, and we created over $110 million worth of business in 30 days.
That's awesome.
And so what we do daily is we find the opportunities and exploit them. We take action. We make a huge mess in the business, and we clean up the progress. That's the best description. Now, if I have to put it in layman's terms, I've been doing virtual real estate for the last 3 years now.
Yep.
And so we've perfected this thing from pre-qual all the way to closing, where we can get 3 times the amount of people into properties in a third of the time. How's that sound?
That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge deal.
Oh, yeah.
So coaching and training and supporting, attracting agents. Yes, I'm one of those agent attractors. I do agent attraction, big whoop. But understand that if I'm trying to attract you to my business, it's because you do pretty big business or have the potential to. So I only work with the people that are swimming towards the boat. And if you show me that you're swimming towards the boat by looking for ways to develop business, then yes, I am going to call you. So your broker's going to have to work harder to keep you.
I love it. So if you guys didn't catch that, he is with us at EXP. Sekou, tell everybody like where you were prior to that, or if you don't want to mention names, you don't have to.
I will
mention names. You saw such a value in EXP.
I was with Keller Williams before us, and before that, I was with an independent. I was with a boutique brokerage. I love both of them to death. I've been in all different models. They're great people there. The idea that someone choosing a model somehow is reflective of who they are. This is not the truth. It doesn't matter where you are if you're in pursuit of big business. Now, I do wear the crown as the Keller Killer.
I love that. I've not heard that before.
I'm the Keller Killer. And the only reason why I say that is because they don't have a problem mentioning my name when it comes down to, stay away from this guy, this and that.
Yeah.
So I've built a pretty big reputation on some really great questions for Keller agents to ask their team leaders. And nobody likes the questions I have them ask, but they're very valid questions.
Do you have a couple of them you want to throw out there?
I certainly could ask a couple of questions right here. Like if, for say, you were a Keller agent that was not the top producer in your marketplace, the first question I would ask my team leader is what exactly is cap management?
I like
It's a
that.
great question. You ask
Yeah,
your team leader what cap management is and see what the answer is. See if they answer you honestly, see if
yeah,
they answer you fully, and then ask, well, who pays for that cap management? So that's a 2-in-1 question.
yeah.
The third question that I would ask if I was, let's say, at a Keller Williams, right, is what specific techniques could you share with me to add 2 transactions a month to my pipeline?
I like that.
Now,
That would stump them.
oh, for sure, because they'll send you to the red book. They'll say go to bold. They'll say, get into what's the name of that the coaching there, bold coaching and leap
Oh,
coach.
it's that thing that they do when everyone first starts. It's that 3 week thing, and then
Yeah, the
basically when you're done
launch
with it,
and
you're on
things.
your own.
Yeah. They'll ask you to pay for various things.
Yeah.
But the reality is that most team leaders never did a day of real estate in their life and couldn't tell you activities to save their life. Not
Nope.
most, not all. I have made some really, really powerful team leaders. I give a lot of them props. They're very accomplished in what they talk about. But when it comes down to action, so those 3 questions are pretty powerful. I have a fourth or fifth, like when you joined, what were you expecting? And then the next question is, and how's the reality living up to what you were expecting? So
You
we could do
know,
this all day long.
yeah. And it's funny, not funny, but just reality, just speaking from experience, because before I opened my own brokerage, I was at Keller Williams 2 times. And the second time I went to Keller Williams was only because at that time in Houston, it was one of the only companies where you could brand yourself. And I was studying to get my broker's license. So I was like, I need to like get this name out there now. And so I did. And it was very interesting because I was selling a lot of real estate, and it was like, I didn't fit in with them and in their cliques because most people there aren't producers. Over in a big market center, there may be 300 or 400 agents, but really only like 20 of them actually sell houses. And of the 20, to be a top producer, you may only sell like 20 or 24 houses in a year. It's like, what's that? That's expected.
Yeah,
And
that's
so it's kind of a
minimum.
big reality check. Like,
Yeah. I, I
interesting.
I caught myself asking this question at the end of my tenure there. I said, "Hey, I cap every year, so
Right.
I'm one of those people that cap every year.
Yep.
One of those people that, I call it the Frankenstein monster. I put together whatever I need to put together in order to succeed." The question that I started asking was, "Well, since I cap every year, what does my cap pay for?"
Same.
Right? I mean, I was in a marketplace where the cap was almost $40,000.
Wow.
And then with the franchise fees and all of that other stuff, I was well over $45,000 a
Yeah.
year that I was paying to the market center.
Yep.
And I was a part of multiple market centers, and each one of them wanted a cap or part of a cap or anything like that. So it was not individual. Everybody wanted a piece of the pie.
Yep.
And so when I asked, well, what does my cap pay for? The answer is really weird. Well, you
What
get a
was it?
desk and you get a this. Well, no, I pay separately for any desk that I have, and I pay separately for any fees that are there, and I pay separately for any copies that I make,
Oh yeah.
and I pay separately for coaching. Shit, I do most of the coaching for my own team.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they couldn't answer that question. And then the question that really bugged me was, it was a two-parter. It was like, well, what is my team paying a cap for? Because I'm doing most of the stuff for them. I'm coaching them. I'm helping them with lead gen. They're processing paperwork through my team, my closing coordinator and stuff like that. What are they paying a cap for? And they couldn't answer the question. I said, all right, all right, all right, all right. I'm not going to be unfair. I said, well, tell me this. And this is the question that breaks them all the time. Tell me the name of one person on my team that you have personally coached to capping. And the crickets started. And that's why I left.
So is that how you came up with the name, your commitment to capping
Yes,
group?
ma'am. So I do,
Love
I
that.
do, I do a workshop called the Appointment Academy. And I don't care where you are, I can get you setting at least an appointment a day, right? My goal is to get you to write a contract a day, whether it gets accepted or not. But I mean, what are we doing if we're not generating contracts every day, right? I mean, honestly. And the Commitment to Capping group was a private group that I set up for the folks that were showing that they wanted to do a minimum of 90 transactions a year.
Yep.
And so I said to myself, where do I go to help the agents that are joining our organization and want another level of accountability, another level of productive activity? Commitment to Capping was born from there. So we say inside of Commitment to Capping, we don't do complaints, we do capping. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
it.
So, okay. So, for you guys that don't know, Sekou went through like COVID and they were in total lockdown, and he remained committed to this commitment to capping group. You guys were still churning up business. If anything, you were like
We did
increasing
more.
yeah, your group blew up. How big is your group now?
So what's funny is that my group blew up and then we blew up. Right? So my group is now very small. It's like a SEAL team now.
Oh,
Right? But it's only because we created so many leaders that they're off doing their thing. So I have 3,500 agents in the Commitment to Capping group
holy crap.
with about 35 agents a night from various places in the world joining on a call, about 350 participants a year that are at, like, let's call it tier one, right? Where they're on and they're active and they're reporting their numbers and things like that, with a revolving door of one-on-one clients out of that group. I don't like to keep my one-on-one clients for more than 6 months at a time.
Yeah.
So I coach them out
Yep.
of coaching. I'm one of those coaches that don't want your money. I want to coach you out of coaching.
Yeah.
You can re-up or you can get your team in, but I want you gone.
Yep.
I'm not daddy, even though this is the Father's Day, workshop. I don't mind being a daddy, but I am not daddy to your coaching. We're not sitting in the seat looking like we're doing something.
No. So in your group, and so you guys, in the real estate world, which is what we're in now, especially more, I think it's more important than ever before that you're being held accountable and that you're hustling because, for the last 2 years, anybody and their mother could sell anything because there was no inventory and it was like a shark tank out there. But that's over. It's over and done with. And the people that are going to get through this shift that already happened are the people that hustle, the people that door knock, the people that make their calls, the people that actually have grit and are determined. So, Mike, I now that you've led into like this accountability stuff, I want to hear your thoughts, and how your market is compared to our market here in Houston. What are you guys seeing there, and what do you think in terms of length? How long do you think this is going to last? What are some things you're telling your group to do to get through
I
it?
hope it lasts forever. And so I bet you the Houston market is just like the New York, New Jersey market, right? I bet you that offers have dropped probably about a third.
Oh yeah.
The amount of offers that are going in, probably about a third to maybe a half, right? I mean, I'll push it to a half. Um, so the mindset going into this market, right, is that there's three things that are fundamental in my mind, right? First of all, I activate my mindset through a mission,
Yep.
right? And so my mission is always to get a minimum of 100 families into their dream or on, over the dreams, right? And so in order to do that in this market, just like every other market I ever belong to, the second thing that I believe in is that it is never a buyer's market and it is never a seller's market. it is always a broker's market.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
always our ability to talk to each other to
Yeah,
get deals done.
I like
So with
that.
the interest rates going up,
Yep.
inventory is staying pretty much the way it is. It was like inventory isn't going up. It's just the offers are going down, which means the amount of buyers are starting to level out, right? Which means the number of competitive offers are going down. So your competition tends to, which leads me to the third thing, my third mindset piece. And this is the thing that's been propelling us the last, I'd say, 6 weeks. Every day, every agent in my ecosystem is on a pursuit of 3 pre-quals a day. They're looking in their own phone, they're looking in their friends list, they're looking past clients, they're looking to current people who are listed, they're looking for folks that are unlisted in a neighborhood. They are just calling, they're connecting, they're texting, and finding 3 people to get pre-qualified a day. So I'm putting all of my allies to work. I'm putting all of my friends to work. I'm putting all of my family to work. I'm asking them to commit to this market since, check this out, this is what's happening in my market, Trish. Rents have tripled in my market.
Yes.
So it's probably the same there in Houston.
Yes.
The average price for rentals when before all of this was between 25 and 3,000 for me, for the average rental apartment, a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, average amenities for us. That's one parking space, amenities in the building, maybe a gym, laundry, et cetera, et cetera. It's about 1,500 square feet is about as large as that is for us. That's probably twice as much for you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that is now almost $4,000 to get
Crazy.
into that property, if not more.
Crazy.
Okay. So if that is the case, the rental power has gone down
Mhm.
by at least 50%. I'm just using round numbers. I don't know if my
Sure.
numbers are correct, but if rents have tripled, you could say that their renting power has decreased by 50%, which means that I can probably get a condominium the same size, the same shape, with the same amenities for 50% of what I would have to do it before. I could probably get it for less than a monthly mortgage payment than I could for a rental payment.
Yeah. And
Why
own
not
it.
how much property we could buy if we wanted to buy a property?
So there where you are, like I looked at one of our hot markets here yesterday, even one of the zips that I like where my office is actually. And we just a week ago had our months of inventory was 1.9. This week it's already up to 2.4. So we're adding inventory every day. But then interesting, we have listings that are going up and sitting. Like no one's coming to the open houses, zero. We have zero offers coming in on listings. So I think our market's already flatter than yours
Mhm.
because here things are really quiet.
So, Trish, when the market was super competitive and there was 9 offers before you put it up and stuff like that, my philosophy is I never look at the MLS anyway, right? I always go off market. I do the 10, 10, 20. 10
Yep.
properties to either side of the listed property and the 20 properties across the street.
Yes.
And I would get maybe 1 in 100 to say yes to me,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
But I would get 7 out of 100 or 10 out of 100 to say not yet to me. So right now, when inventory is starting to go up and offers are starting to go down, I'm still talking to that 7 to 10%
Yeah.
that no one else was talking to. And they are more amenable or amenable. I don't know what the word is, but
Me neither.
they like my offers no matter what they are. And so I'm still off market. Now I can go to the people that are on market and be like, let's play ball. I put in 3 offers this week. I'd like to put in an offer on yours. What realistically is an offer that you'll entertain? It's a broker's market always. It's our
Yep.
ability to talk to each other. Hey, Trish, it's say, cool. Listen, I just showed 3 other properties on the block. Meanwhile, you're like, what 3 other properties, right? And I'm like, look, before we put in an offer on one of these off markets, I'd like to present your seller with an opportunity to entertain our offer. So how do we get a deal today?
Yep.
That moves the needle. That makes friends. That gets deals done. Let's
You
go.
know, unfortunately, sadly, most real estate agents don't do that 10-10-20. Though we preach it and preach it and preach it. Here in my own organization, I say it to them constantly. That's what I did when I did open houses. It's like, it's, you never get away from that ever. That's how you talk to sellers. That's how you meet everybody. Every one listing should bring in at least one other listing and unlimited buyers. At
Three
least.
more deals.
Yep.
1 to 3.
Yep. Minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah. If you do it right. But what's happened, especially in the last 2 years, is the average agent has gotten lazy because they didn't have to do those things. But guess what, Sekou? Now you do. Now it
You
goes
gotta work.
back to like the fundamentals of real estate.
You
Hello.
gotta work.
So there's this projection, a couple of different ones. I want to see what your thoughts are on these. So one of the projections that I read and listened to, as I listen to podcasts every morning, was 20 to 30% of agents will be out of the industry in the next 12 months.
Goodbye.
And 20% of buyers are now out of the market because they can no longer afford to buy housing. What's your thoughts?
Bye-bye. I agree. 1,000%. And I'll give you one more stat. I'll give you one more stat. Remember that I said every list, no matter where you get it from, no matter how much you pay for it, no matter how well curated it is 90% no. Every list, no matter what, is 90% no. And that most of my competition loses is because they get discouraged from the 90% no.
Yeah.
Well, I am always looking for the 7% not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the next 3 years, it is that 7% not yet that's going to keep us fed.
I like that.
So there's my prediction. If you've been working your list and you've been getting consistent 90% no, that means you have a very healthy 7% not yet. It is
Mm-hmm.
over the next 3 years that 7% not yet is going to turn into hundreds of transactions.
Yep.
Hundreds, if not thousands, depending on where you are.
So here we've seen price adjustments rapidly, like
Mhm.
a number one, and then but you have to look at it. It's like, okay, just because you're seeing price adjustments doesn't mean that anything that agent may have grossly overpriced it from go. The sellers may have indicated that that was what the price that they were going to sell at. Period. You have to look at all of the things, but people don't. People assume, and I think when people assume, here's my thoughts and all of that. It's like I think now more so than ever, buyers and sellers need to really be aware of who they're doing business with. Because if you don't know your numbers and you don't know real estate and you don't know how to run property values, the buyers and sellers are going to be completely misguided. And I think that's what we're going to look at for the next several months because the numbers.
Well, so my competition is at a disadvantage because they don't ask the right questions.
Yeah.
Some of them do ask questions, but they're afraid to ask the right questions. One of the questions that I ask sellers and other agents all the time, and I teach my sellers that are for sale by owner that are meeting with other agents, I teach them to ask this question. Hey, the last transaction that you did, where did that buyer come from? Whether they're a listing agent or not, where did that buyer come from? The answer is 9 out of 10 times, oh, I don't know. They say, I don't know,
Yeah.
because they're not tracking. The second most popular answer is the MLS. They came in on a lead. They came in and this, and that. And I teach my sellers and other agents to then ask, well, why didn't it come from your marketing? And they go, can you show me how your marketing produces buyers? I teach my buyers to ask agents that they're interviewing, what are you doing to find me properties that I could not find on my own?
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
And so as an agent, what I teach the agents to ask themselves is, what are we doing to find properties that the buyer could not find on their own? What am I doing for the sellers? How am I finding them buyers that they could not find on their own?
Yeah.
Those two questions are the same question on opposite ends of that thing is going to propel you through the next 3 years of this market.
So I want to kind of put you on the spot here. Let's see,
Please.
because here's the common objection. So we'll do an objection handling thing for people that are paying attention to this. Here's the common objection, especially, and I was talking to my team about it on Monday. So seller had bought a house, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, 2.5% interest rate. Now they might need to sell, or we're encouraging them to sell, perhaps if they can get the right number for their house. And they're like, why in the world am I going to sell right now and do a 6% interest rate? What's your comeback?
Well, the reality is that the interest rate might have gone up, but so has your property value.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Is or do people still need to live somewhere? If the answer is yes, the
Yep.
person that's buying this house is more qualified to buy this house, especially now that the interest rate has gone up. Would you agree?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so if they're more qualified to buy and they're still looking to buy, they're probably highly motivated to pay market. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Oh, yeah.
When you buy your house with the adjustments, the price is going to go down just a little bit to adjust for this market. And because you are highly qualified, their ability to find other buyers to compete against you is going to go down. So you're going to move into this property with much more equity. And then I just want to point out one more thing to you. When you refinance this property, is the interest rate going to go up or down?
Down.
Down. So would you like to move into this property with more equity and then with a year decrease that interest rate so that you could be earning more equity on this property? Or do you want to wait to see what the interest rate is going to do?
Good answer. It's a good
There's your
answer. It's
question.
true.
Yeah.
It's the truth. You know, I,
I'm buying now
yeah,
because the
same.
interest rate is going to go up again.
Yep.
My first property I bought, the interest rate was 18.3%.
Crazy.
So this is still a great market for me.
Oh my gosh, it is. Here's what I listened to on a podcast just this morning. The guy that I was listening to was like, okay, so the last 2 years have been crazy. What we're already seeing is that the market is reverting back to the way it was in 2017 and 18. Well, that's great because that was an awesome market. That was a balanced market. We had homes to sell, we had buyers, everybody was happy. We were all making money and everybody had good deals. So it's like, I thought that was like an encouraging thing to hear because people are freaking out. The sky is falling. It's like, no, we're just getting out of this crazy frenzy that we've been in because how long? That wasn't sustainable. That could not continue on. Oh, good Lord. That was not a good market.
So
That was horrible.
I had a guy say to me that he's sure that there's a bubble coming and he wants to wait to buy his new place after the bubble bursts so that prices will go low. And I said, that's interesting. You want to wait till the bubble bursts to sell your property? And he was like, oh, I didn't think about that. I'm like, so the one thing that I say to everybody, agent, buyer, seller, is that we're always in a bubble.
Yep.
We're always in a bubble. And I said, tell me the last time you lived through the bubble bursting. And he said 2005, 2008. And I said, and are the prices the same as they were when the bubble burst 2005, 2008? He says, no. I said, where are they? He was like, shit, they might be double. And I was like, did you want to wait till after the bubble burst to see how high the prices will go after they burst? Or did you want to buy now, ride this out, and collect your money?
Yeah.
So we are in the greatest of times. I do hope we lose 30 to 40% of the people
Me
who
too.
call themselves realtors. The only people that'll stay in this industry are the ones that are of strong mindset and has a mission and a vision that matches their mindset.
And
There's
they're
no
hustling.
they're hustling. They're hustling. And my sister hates it when I say this. What up, TT Danny? But I want you to be obsessed with your business. I want you to be obsessed with your mission and vision. If you are, there is nothing that the market can do that can stop you.
One thing that I said to my team in our sales meeting, it was like, I'm so thankful for, because when I had my own independent company, when we went through shifts and things like that, if as a business owner, if sales drop, I still have monthly expenses. I still got a huge overhead. It cost me a lot to run this business. However, because we all switched over to EXP, we have multiple streams of income and we're all in this together. And I talked to a lady yesterday and she's another broker. She had just switched over from an independent company to EXP, and she's in kind of a scarcity mindset. And I was like, you haven't been with us long enough because we're with the best group of people ever. Like I'm not worried about the industry. I'm not worried about anything. I have people like you that I talk to all the time. I wouldn't even know you if we wouldn't have switched over to EXP. It's
True.
like that's crazy. And because of that, we're all business owners with the same common denominator. We're here to make a difference in the world. We're here to change the real estate industry, and we're here to build empires. So it's like when you get around people that are all like minded, you're not going anywhere. We're just going to the top, period.
All the way up.
And we're protected.
Yeah.
When you have, like I told her, I was like, when you have multiple streams of income, you're not, everything isn't just indicative on a real estate transaction. Yes, a lot of it's real estate based, but it's not all based on that one sale. And because of the things that we've all gotten involved in, we're protected from recessions. And, to some degree, it's a whole nother ball game.
I told a brokerage firm that I was talking to yesterday. I said the only people that fear recession are the same people that fear risk. And I said I'm not. I'm a growth minded individual. I
Yep.
don't fear risk. I don't fear recession. I don't fear market fluctuation because I know I've seen it. I've lived through it.
Yep.
I know you make money on the way down and the way up.
Yep.
And if you're worried about making money, only hustlers make money,
The
right? Think
people
about
that
this.
sell, just a couple homes a year, they'll be like, who are they going to sell to?
And so for me, I take annual production and melt it down to monthly production. If market shifts and I go from doing my annual production, I attempt to do my annual numbers every month and fail at something in between. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. So Trisha, I can't say I'm a fat dude anymore. I lost a whole bunch of weight, right? But I could say I'm a fat dude at heart, and I still love my bakery analogy, right? And so I equate real estate to a bakery, right? When you own a real estate business, you own a bakery, right? And the reality is that you're still a baker, even if everybody is allergic to wheat and to grain, right? You still put out the donuts, even though everybody's on low carb diets,
Yep.
because miraculously somebody's going to come in and buy your donuts. And
Hmm.
you got to be open every day, early and often to make those donuts. I'm here making the donuts, baby.
So in this day and age, and it's now almost July 2022, crazy as that is, some projection that I listened to said they think that we're going to have the next 3 to 4 months of kind of this weird market that we're in. Then things will start to get better. What's your thoughts?
I agree. The weirder the better, baby.
Bring it.
Bring it. It's those weird markets. It's the down markets. It's the weird markets. It's crazy markets that make careers.
Yep.
It makes careers. If you have the ability, all right, shh, don't tell anybody I said this, right? Don't tell anybody I said this. But I haven't shown a house, physically shown a house in the last 2 years.
Yep.
Yet on my books, it shows 88 transactions.
Pretty
So
impressive, right?
I'm doing everything virtually, even though locally I have a bunch of agents that tell me nobody wants to buy a house virtually. And I just agree with them. You're right. No one wants to do it. Meanwhile, everyone I offer that option to is like, oh my God, would you do that for me? Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Can you show me X? No problem. I'll show you X. And well, I don't want to give all the secrets away on this call. I got to make them show up to your calls on a regular basis, Trisha. But I'll tell you a secret: hire a photographer. You got to do it anyway.
Yep.
They do a much better job walking through a property than I
Oh
do.
gosh, yeah. That's a good pro tip. I like that.
We'll get into that further. If they want to come in, they want to be a part of Commitment to Capping. Only for your people, Trish. I'm offering deals. I'm
Y'all hear
offering
that?
deals. So I'm extending that offer. I don't know what the deal is, but if they say Trisha Turner sent me, they're going to get a very sweet deal. Walking away wealthy. I'm
Heck
black. I'm
yeah.
rich. I'm spoiled, Trish. So I believe in spreading the love.
You have to. Because, I mean, you know what? It comes back always.
Always comes back. Always. It comes back. I'm not going to say, like, this seems crazy, but it always comes back tenfold.
Mhm.
Always. I know
So
you are a
for
spiritual woman. I know you believe in tithing. I know you believe in all of that. I put my work into the world. I show the world what I believe in the same way you do. And, I'm just going to keep growing and growing and growing and sharing and sharing and sharing. I show the value and I get it back tenfold.
I heard a quote about 2 weeks ago, and it was stop worrying about being successful and start focusing on being significant.
Woo!
Isn't that so true? Because we get
Woo!
so caught up in like the success and what is success? What defines success for you? Is it a numbers thing? Is it a volume thing? Is what is it? But it's like stop chasing that. Stop trying to be that and worry about being significant. And it's like,
So
ooh,
if I might add to that quote,
yeah,
so I have a secondary level to that quote. And if you are in the pursuit of significance, stop looking at what you can get and start looking at what you can give. How much can you give? Your contribution to the world speaks more about what you've received than anything else that you could do.
yeah,
So I look to give away as much as possible. And that means that I'm very spoiled, Trish. I like my nice stuff.
I know you do.
Okay. I like my nice stuff. So the fact that I'm going to give away a lot means that there'll be a lot in the pot for my friends and my family and growth. So how much can I give away every year is the top question on my board. What is my
Yep,
giveaway value? What does that number look like?
I love that. So for the market, I always like to have pro tips given out. So if you were talking to a real estate agent right now, whether they're new, seasoned, or whatever, what three things would you tell them to do to stay relevant during this time?
Contact everyone in your phone every year. Everyone in your phone, everyone on your friends list and your social media, Instagram, contact them at least once every single year. There's a lot of money that's already in your phone. Invite them to your donut shop. Okay. Invite them to your business.
Yeah,
Let them sample your donuts. The second thing that I would say is I don't care what you're calling them for, what they called in for. I don't give a crap what it's for. Buyer, seller, investor, whatever. Get them to pre qualify. The language that I use is show them how much house they can buy if they wanted to buy a house.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the third thing is make yourself available.
yeah,
Create a calendar link and let your people know, hey, anytime you want to meet with me, click my calendar link and let's discuss what you're looking for.
I love that.
So, number one, talk to everybody in your phone every year. Number two, pre qualify everyone you talk to. And number three, make yourself available for that inevitable question. Hey, Trish, you think I could buy a house? Do you
Hmm.
think I can do an investment? Make yourself available.
I love that.
Those are my three tips.
Those are good ones. I hope you guys are paying attention to this. So on a personal note, you guys, he's got kids. Tell everybody how many kids you have and how
5
old they
kids,
are.
baby. 5 kids, starting with 24 down to 9. And just
And
step down.
he's
And the 9-year-old, we was like, oh snap, we can still do this. So the distance between the nine is 9 years between the 9-year-old and the next one. She just turned 18. She just graduated from high school. Yay, another tuition.
Oh, yay! Holy crap. So, how do you balance that being a dad of five, a great dad, an amazing dad of five, an ultra successful entrepreneur? How do you balance it all?
Sacrifice. You don't you don't balance. There's no refunds for the time that you have to spend with your kids. There's no refunds for the time that you have to spend with your business. So you learn the value of sacrifice. You say to yourself, if I do this today, I can do that tomorrow. Right? I did spend 2 years doing nothing but business development. Now it just so happens that we was all locked in. So I had a pass on a lot of stuff that I had to do with the kids. That doesn't mean that I didn't do stuff with the kids. We just didn't do a bunch of stuff outside. Now there's a lot of stuff happening outside, and I'll tell the agents, listen, keep going this way. I'll spend 5 minutes with the agents. I'll do this, do this, do this, so that I can go out and do that.
Yeah.
And so my virtual business that I developed over the last 2 years allows me now to spend time physically with my kids and my family. And so the quote that I learned years ago is sacrifice for 2 years, be willing to do what others are not willing to do for 2 years so you can do whatever the hell you want to do for the rest of your life.
It's freaking
There's
awesome.
there's my balance. I do what I
Yep.
want to do, Trish. I stand on my wallet to make myself taller. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I like that. Hey, Sekou, how can everybody find your group or find more info about joining you?
Well, first of all, copy my name down because the way to find me anywhere is just follow that name, Sekou Pile. The second thing is that if you're a realtor and you're willing to commit at a high level, we can talk about coaching. Find me, drop it to my DMs, send me a text message, 646-285-7388. 646-285-7388. Trisha, I'm gonna start doing what you did and
You
putting your
need to.
number on the screen,
Heck yeah.
right? Drop into my DM, send me a message, call me. I don't answer my phone between 8 a.m. and noon weekdays Eastern Standard Time because I'm lead generating.
Y'all
Uh,
hear that? Like he time blocks out the mornings to stay focused. His phone is on silent so he doesn't get distracted. So many
I
people
don't answer
don't do
the
it.
phone
They
at
live in
all.
reaction mode. Like, ah,
Hey,
stupid.
and if you're an agent and you want to lean in on this business, contact Trish. If you want questions from me, contact Trish. I'm very happy to get on a call with both of y'all and walk through this. We are a team that was doing over 300 transactions a year, and we moved our business over. I could share with you all how we did it seamlessly.
Yep.
So there it is.
Totally appreciate you sharing. Giving back. That's what you always do.
That's what we do. TT.
Yeah. And you guys, so we just moved into our new location. So that's why nothing's even set up yet. I don't have all of our sound stuff going on. But once we get our grand opening done, Sekou will be here in person too.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Got
looking
to
for
make
that
that
grand
happen.
opening. I'm looking for that housewarming. I give good gifts.
And we throw big parties.
I'm with it. I love it. I can't wait to meet your family. I cannot wait to meet your son.
Yep.
I want to laugh and talk with him, man. The
Yeah,
man's got so much energy. I can't wait.
he does. All is good. Thanks for doing this, Sekou.
Thank you for having me.
You guys have an awesome day.
Get that rockin' music going.
Yeah.